no, sir. It was physical meet. We met at
What?
CCD.
Okay, where did you all meet?
We met at CCD, Marriage Road, and then we had lunch together, and then we also went to the department.
At least, if not on lunch, at least, if not on lunch, at least in the department, you should have told. We could have met all of you.
So it was Sunday.
So what? So what did you
So
do in the department on Sunday? Was it open?
no, sir, the gates were closed, but we clicked pictures, group pictures together.
No,
Like
no. Had it
we
been
were
told
there.
earlier, we would have arranged opening of the department, and you could have seen the classrooms, or I mean, the entire department you would have visited, and some teachers also could have come. Those who were interested, like those who were not scared of Corona or Omicron, they would have at least visited. I regularly go to the department.
Sure, sir, we'll do it again, and we'll make sure to let you know in advance.
Do that, but don't invite me to lunch, or I can pay for that. At least I can afford.
No, please, please, sir, please.
नहीं कुछ नहीं. कितने कितने पैसे जमा किए तुम लोगों ने?
Sir, I guess around 500 per head.
500 per head. Okay, and you met at which hotel did you tell me?
So we first met at CCD for coffee, and then we shifted to Zafran for
Okay,
lunch.
it's very good. It's very good. Now I'm getting answers from most of you. Now, Arusa, I will text you your roll number as conveyed to me by the department. You may start writing your roll number. I have noted it. Let me
Sir,
check this.
what was the question?
No, I have posted question in the chat box. Once again, I'm posting because those who join late may not be visible to them. I'm posting just 1 second. I'll tell you your roll number also. It is 105.
So actually, Maria Beg also has the same roll
Doesn't
number.
matter. Doesn't matter. But I have already posted in the group that those who have got common number, they should write their roll number followed by their first name. For example, in your case, you write 105 space Arusa, and Maria will
Okay, sir.
write 105 space Maria.
Sure, sir.
There are as many as I think 4 or 5 of you in whose cases same roll number has been allotted. If it is a different class, it can be differentiated, but even it doesn't matter. Let us come back to the discussion that we were having yesterday. I was at this slide when I left the class. I was explaining you that this is a debit balance or this is a credit balance. I also asked you to complete the remaining transactions and prepare different other ledgers. I doubt if some of you have completed that. There are 62 of you in the meet now. Tell me how many of you, at least some of you could answer, have completed all the 10 transactions in the form of journal. Is there any one of you who has completed? Yes,
Yes, sir, I have completed it.
you have recorded all the 10 transactions. Continue, discussing. Switch on your at least mic. So you
Sir,
Yes,
I
have.
sir.
didn't do this one. I actually did the 11 transactions that we discussed previous week.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir. Same, sir. The transactions that we discussed on the D8, like on the day 8
okay,
of your
okay,
PPT, that we tried to do it in the form of a ledger. Am I right, Arma? Yeah, that only, right? Yeah.
okay, okay. And how about after writing those transactions in journal? I'm referring to the one for which I showed you the equation. Okay, thereafter, have you gone to one step further? That is, have you prepared all the ledgers also?
So yes, we tried. Just we tried.
Say it
Like
again.
so, we tried it. We were able to do it, but we were not sure about like what should I write in particulars.
See, the purpose of asking you is in case you face a difficulty, you are unable to proceed. Let me know. I'll explain.
So I have a doubt. I was going through the different ledgers that were given in the notes as well. And like on the credit side, we used the term balance carried down. And
Okay.
on the debit side, we use the term balance brought down. So what exactly is
So
the difference
I'll
between this?
explain. Hold on to this question. I'll explain. Any other doubt if somebody had? Okay. Now, people from commerce will be very much aware of it. For them, it will be a cakewalk. But still, let me explain to rest of you. There is no concept like CD or BD and sides. Depending on which side of the ledger is more, the balance would appear on the opposite side. It is logical. If debit side is 10,000, credit side is 8,000, so balance would appear in credit side and vice versa. When we close, that is when we use balancing figure. When we use balancing figure, we write balance CD. That is balance close down 2000. It will always be written on the last day or on the day when we are closing it. Closing means maybe we can prepare ledgers every day, every week, every fortnight, every month, depending on the number of transactions, even at the end of the year. Depending on our need, we can finalize each ledger. So the day, suppose we are finalizing on 28th of February. So 28th February on credit side, we will write balance CD. And on next day, that is on 1st March, we will write balance BD on debit side. Because it was a debit balance. So you will start with balance BD on 1st March. So when we open, we write balance BD, that is brought down. When we close, we write balance CD. So naturally, if it was a credit balance, it would be opened in the debit side and vice versa. Take an example of cash account. Debit side was 10,000, credit side was 7,000. So which side will we have? Shall we have balance CD?
Credit side.
Credit side. So that means we have 3,000 rupees with us, or we had 3,000 rupees with us when we closed the balance. So next day we will start with 3,000. Just consider it as your wallet. So you keep 10,000 rupees in your wallet, or should I say 50,000? You will feel good if I say you keep 50,000 in your wallet. So you keep 50,000 rupees. So you, when you go to bed, you count it as 15,000, 50. So next day, how many will be there? 50. So you spent something, you went to bed, you counted it was 35,000. So how much will you have the next morning? 35,000. So, but in the morning, you received some 10,000 rupees from somebody. So it will become 45. So your closing will be 45 and next day it will be again 45. Yes, very true. Like this, it goes on. And what happened to you, Adil? You joined late today? Oh, good. Because usually you are there, Arma is there, Anamika. There are few people who joined before time. It's all right. So you have answered the question which I continued posting in the chat box. Okay. Out of the 70%, has everybody answered so that I stop posting it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Anyone who has not yet answered may answer it now. All these answers are correct. That is, there will be two accounts. Can any one of you tell me why did I chose this transaction? What was the way of maybe confusing you by writing 3?
Sir,
I wrote
because
two accounts or 3 accounts.
Sir, because in this transaction you have discussed salary and Mr. Sharma and cash. So these three are
Very good.
different accounts, but Mr. Sharma in cash will reflect that salary is paid to him. So a personal account will shall not be counted.
Absolutely right. Very true. Have all of you understood what Hassan or Arif has explained?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That was the very purpose. At times, people who are not from commerce may think that there are 3 accounts: personal, nominal, and real. But because salaries are being paid in cash, so whenever sales is made in cash, so you don't keep a record whom it was paid to. You can record off the accounting record, but in the accounting record, because the transaction is over then and there. But if the sales is made on credit, so you have to record the person whom the goods were sold to, so that at a later date you recover money from them. If they don't pay, you send them a notice. You try to recover money from them. So I was asking that most of you were also expected, rather all of you were expected to complete all the ledgers. It would have been easier for me to explain to you if all the ledgers were ready. But anyhow, it is your choice. I would still recommend, I would still suggest you that you complete the day's job as soon as possible, so that we take it from that onward and continue. So I was at this slide when I left the class yesterday. I'll move on to the next one. Like you have prepared a cash ledger, similarly you can prepare cash ledger with two columns, one for cash, the other for bank. It is known as two-column cash book. So all the entries which are pertaining to cash will be recorded in the column of cash. Transactions related to bank will be recorded in bank column, and each will have a balance. At the end of day or week or fortnight, night, etc., we will have balance in cash account and we will have balance in bank account. Like we prepare cash account and bank account, we can prepare XYZ account. I have just given you a sample of XYZ account. So if you keep in front of you journal, you would find in first case XYZ would have been in debit side. In second case, name of XYZ would have appeared in debit side. Now come to the credit side. XYZ would have appeared in the credit side by 10,000, again by 5,000, like this. So when we transfer them, we interchange the heads of account. So we have written 30,000 rupees in the debit side of XYZ, and we have transferred 15,000 rupees in the credit side of XYZ. So like I was explaining a few minutes before, which side of XYZ account is heavy or is more, debit side or credit side?
So debit.
Debit.
Is more.
Debit side.
Debit
So
side is
debit side.
debit side is more.
Debit
Correct.
side.
Debit side is more. So balance will appear in a credit side. So we have written balance CD. Now for the time being, for a few seconds, forget about accounting. Just consider that 30,000 rupees, 20, yes, 30,000 rupees are there as plus 20 plus 10, and 15,000 rupees are there as minus. So what will be the final answer?
Sir, but the
20,000
account
plus?
is not balanced.
No, so it is not.
I will explain.
Yes, sir,
I'll
on the
explain.
debit side.
Debit side, how much is the amount?
Sir, 30,000.
Sir, 30,000. 30 sets written 30.
Oh, you are right. You are right. You are right. You have now these two figures. Whether hold on. Can somebody just see? It will take a bit time. Can somebody see journal? If you already have journal, look at the transactions pertaining to XYZ. Where I have written 20, it should be 20. Maybe this bank figure is not 10, but it is 15. I will check it. If you just hold on for a minute, I will check the journal and find out what was the, wait a minute. Yes, it is here. XYZ.
So bank is 15,000.
XYZ. Bank is how much? 15,000. So when bank is 15,000, so we should write here 15,000. Isn't it? This figure should be
Yes, sir.
15,000.
Yes,
So it
sir.
is a mistake. You have correctly identified it as 15,000. Then only it would become
35,000.
35. So 35 this side. So because this side is more, so we will write 35 on this side. So balance CD becomes 20,000.
20,000.
Suppose it is 31st of January, where the cursor is blinking. On 1st of February, this balance would come on left hand side, and we will write balance BD. Now, if this I am explaining to you in semi-accounting language. In accounting language, XYZ balance is debit or credit? If
So
I
debit
say
balance.
XYZ is debit, or debit side is more. So in accounting language, we say XYZ account shows a debit balance. What can we say in ordinary language? Do we have to receive money from them, or do we have to pay to them?
So we have to pay them.
Pay. When we say we have to pay, that means they are our liability.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Do we have liability? Liability has a debit balance. Liability is credited or debited. When liability increases, what do you do?
Credited.
So
Credited.
credited.
When liability increases, you credit. And when liability is decreased,
So debited.
you debit. So in this case, can you
Debit balance.
make out once again it is our liability or it is our asset?
So it is an asset because the
It
debit
is your
balance
asset. Why? Because asset has a debit. Increase in asset is debited. So increase is more. See, more debit is there compared to credit. So when more debit is there compared to credit, that means it is our asset. It has a debit balance. So XYZ are our debtors. It is our asset. The purpose of explaining you this in this context was that each account will have a balance, either debit balance or a credit balance. Some accounts may not have a balance. Some accounts may not have a balance at all, neither this side nor that side. For example, consider this cash figure not as 5 but 25. Suppose this cash figure is not 5 but 25. What will happen?
So there will be no
Balance
balance.
No
Oh,
balance
yes, both
carried
sides.
forward.
Yes, very true. Both sides will have 35, so balance will be 0. There will be no balance. Correct?
Yes,
So
Yes.
each account either will have a debit balance or credit balance or no balance. So when we, from journal, when we prepare ledger, we calculate balance. All balances are once again tabulated in another statement. We call it as a trial balance. I'll come to that later. See what I have mentioned in red font. If you refer to page number from 55 to 62, you will find a detailed exercise having transactions, journal, ledger, and up to the next stage that I will be talking about in a few moments. Now, if you see, this is again at the 11 only. After posting all entries in ledger, what will happen? Most account will have either a debit balance or a credit balance. Wherever you don't agree or wherever you have doubt in all the statements that I have noted here, just ask a question. Very few account may not have a balance. Very few account may not have a balance. One situation I have explained to you. Can you come up with one or two more examples wherein this statement will be true? Say, no. Say a specific situation. If this happens, it will result in no balance.
Sir, like when all the creditors are paid off.
Yes, one of the situation is very true. Who said it? Riza.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like when all the creditors have paid, you all, I'm sure, by now know the meaning of creditors. Who are creditors? From whom we owe the money to. We owe the money to. Very true. So creditors are those we owe the money to. So when all of them have paid us full in a given time frame, suppose we are finalizing our accounts for the month of January or for the first week of January or maybe for the day of January, and as on date, not all the creditors, practically a particular creditor we had to pay and we have paid. We bought for 30,000 rupees, we paid him 30,000 rupees. On that day, the balance would be 0. If at the end of a year, on 365th day, this situation is there with several accounts, so whichever accounts are of this nature, their balance will be 0. Okay. Now, accounts which will always have debit balance.
There are assets.
Sir, cash.
Debtors.
Sir, assets.
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 Assets. Okay. Accounts which will always have credit balance.
Sir,
Debtors.
liabilities. Liabilities.
Liability. Then
Capital.
more
Sir, our creditors.
creditors. More.
Bills
For
payable.
example,
So bills to pay.
Bills to pay, correct? Then okay. Anyone who does not agree with the answers your friends are giving, or you still have some doubt, कि भाई should it be so? You can raise your hand. You can ask me a question. Simply do not accept. You should be convinced about even if what I say, unless it is clear to you, unless you are agreed, you are convinced. Don't just seek a clarification. Okay, accounts which may have either balance, either debit or credit.
So cash account.
So bank
Yes.
balance.
So only trial balance.
Okay.
Suspense account, sir.
At this moment, it is not correct. I say, think it again. Which may have either balance. कोई भी अकाउंट है, उसके एग्जाम्पल दीजिए. या तो उसका डेबिट बैलेंस हो सकता है या उसका क्रेडिट बैलेंस हो सकता है. Somebody said bank.
So bank account. Yes.
Who said bank account? Riza.
Yes, sir.
Okay, bhai, explain. Your answer is correct. Elaborate. Bhai, can a bank account have either balance?
Sir, cause in the case of debit balance, we have a favorable bank
We have
balance,
money in
right?
our bank. Say
Yes,
it in
sir.
ordinary language also. In case
Okay, sir.
of a debit balance, it means we have money in the bank. Continue. Go ahead. Carry on.
Yes, sir. And in the case of credit balance, like we don't have money in the bank, then it will be considered as a bank overdraft.
Okay. We don't
Sir,
have money in the
cause
bank, yet we can withdraw, yet we can
yes, sir.
pay. Okay. So the balance in that case becomes a credit balance, and in
Yes, sir.
accounting terminology known as
Bank overdraft.
bank overdraft. So this bank overdraft is our asset or liability?
So liability.
Is our liability. So bank may have either of the balances. Bank does not provide this facility in the accounts that I and you maintain. All the accounts that each one of us maintains is a saving bank account. The corporates maintain
Current bank account.
current account on which withdrawal facility, over withdrawal facility is extended by the bank, and naturally bank will charge interest on the money to the extent you have overdrawn. Of course, there's a limit for this also. You cannot overdraw up to infinity, depending on your agreement with the bank. You can overdraw. ठीक है? Okay, तो ये जो statement था that I have written on slide 11 is clear. Let us move on what I have mentioned in the next slide. Correct. Once you have tabulated all the balances, you have calculated all the balances, there will be a debit balance, there will be a credit balance, there will be no balance, and let us say we have tabulated. What you have tabulated, it should appear like this. You have, I gave you 10 transactions. For 5 of them, equation was shown to you. All those 5 were shown using the kinds of accounting approach also. Thereafter, they were recorded in journal that was explained to you. Thereafter, they were recorded in ledger or transferred to ledger. 2-3 illustrations were given to you. So each account had a balance. All those balances have been tabulated, and this tabulation looks like this. This tabulation looks like this, which we call as, it is still at day 11, which is called as trial balance. What do you call that?
Trial balance.
Why is it called trial balance? इसको trial balance क्यों कहते हैं?
Sir, we tried to find out some missing values or some
चलिए और
values we have wrongly put it in some other columns.
कोई बात नहीं दानिश, और बताइए.
Maybe because we are ultimately balancing the debit and the credit side.
और बताइए. ठीक और बताइए. पलाक्ष के अलावा कोई और बताए?
So we are preparing this before making the balance sheet.
Okay. देखिए लफ्ज इसके अंदर एक वर्ड मेंशन्ड है. क्या है? ट्रायल. ट्रायल का मतलब क्या होता?
To try.
टू ट्राई. और क्या होता है ट्रायल का मतलब? कहाँ ट्रायल होता है?
To check. So in balancing,
Sir, before
So
finalizing the
in
accounts.
quotes,
trial and error.
ट्रायल एंड एरर। और वैसे तो जिंदगी के हर लम्हे जो है हम सब लोगों का ट्रायल होता ही होता है।
तो
Philosophy
जहाँ
में
पता नहीं होता है कि रिजल्ट क्या होगा, वहां पे हम चेक करके देखते हैं प्रैक्टिकली।
हम चेक करके देखते हैं।
सर टेस्ट करना।
अच्छा, देखिए ट्रायल तो आपके टेलर के यहाँ भी होता। जब टेलर से आप कपड़े सिलवाते हैं तो ट्रायल नहीं करता वो?
Yes, sir.
ट्रायल
यस सर।
कोर्ट में भी होता नहीं ट्रायल कोर्ट में?
जी.
अच्छा, तो अकाउंटिंग में जो ट्रायल हो रहा है, यू आर ट्राइंग टू सी इफ यू हैव मेड एनी मिस्टेक वेदर द सूट फिट्स यू और नॉट। अगर फिट है तो आप आगे बढ़ जाएंगे, नहीं है तो उससे कहेंगे भाई इसको छोटा करो, इसको बड़ा करो। तो ट्रायल बैलेंसेस। नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन दिस केस, बोथ साइड्स आर इक्वल। दोनों का टोटल कितना है? 161,000। तो इफ you prepare a trial balance with all the balances you have got in all the accounts, you tabulate them on one page. Debit balances on one side, credit balances on the other side, and total those figures. At the end of day, if both figures are same, what would be your conclusion?
सर ट्रायल वाज सक्सेसफुल।
Correctly. Any other conclusion?
so we can proceed with the preparation of
We
financial
can proceed with
statements.
the next item. Next, any further answers?
ट्रायल वाज सक्सेसफुल।
फिर बोलो, जरा सा दूर से बोलो प्रतीक्षा।
सर ट्रायल वाज सक्सेसफुल।
Our trial was successful. ठीक है। If I say all these statements that all of you have made are incorrect, are wrong, can we say another sentence?
Say we will try to find rectifying entries.
We will try to find rectifying entries. अभी तो rectification तक ये लोग पहुंचे नहीं जो नॉन कॉमर्स के लोग हैं, तो क्या समझेंगे फिर? ये ऐसे बताओ जो सबके समझ में आया, जितना लोगों ने आज तक पढ़ लिया है।
We have summarized all the
Rectification of error
accounts.
तो आपने अपना एक टॉपिक पढ़ा होगा। क्या खा रहे हो भाई तुम आदिल? अरे बिल्कुल खाओ, क्यों नहीं। एक दिन वैसे हमारी जिंदगी में नहीं, मुमकिन है तुम लोगों की जिंदगी में आ सकता है कि जब हम ई बेसिस पर भी शायद कुछ शेयर कर सकें, या कोई कहीं ऐसा इनोवेशन हो चुका है
यस सर,
online?
जापान में हो चुका है।
हाँ, क्या हुआ है
सर, अगर कोई पर्सन कहीं किसी किचन में कुछ खा रहा है तो उन लोगों ने कुछ इस तरीके का डिवाइस इजाद किया है कि जब आप अपनी स्क्रीन शेयर करेंगे तो आप अपनी स्क्रीन को लिक करके वो
Taste
चीज
कर
टेस्ट कर
सकते हैं,
सकते
yes,
हैं
sir.
और उसका अरोमा भी
अपनी
फील
स्क्रीन
कर
को लिंक
सकते हैं।
करके टेस्ट कर सकते हैं?
लिक करके सर,
अच्छा, ठीक।
चाट के।
और खा नहीं सकते उसको?
नहीं सर, अभी खाने वाला नहीं आया है।
अरे तो यार, बात तो खाने की, टेस्ट करके और वो ख्वाहिश बढ़ जाएगी। अरे वे बहुत अच्छे अंडे हैं जो आदिल खा रहे हैं, हम भी खा लेते तो अच्छा था, लेकिन खा तो सकते नहीं। अच्छा, कोई बात नहीं। वैसे अब आई डोंट नो, जो चीज़ इम्पॉसिबिलिटी थी अब वो पॉसिबल तो लग रही है। तो मुमकिन है ये भी हो जाए कि आप मतलब दुनिया के किसी भी कोने में कुछ प्रिपेयर करें और आप दुनिया के किसी दूसरे कोने में उसको खा सकें पूरे तरीके से। पॉसिबिलिटी है। not I'm not talking about infinity or 100 100 200 years. I'm talking of my own life. In our childhood, older people used to almost fight with each other. Impossible if somebody is doing something in England and you can see it in India. So they were opposed to the concept of television. They were saying it is impossible. How can somebody be talking in England or somewhere, you can see them in this country, but that became a reality very soon, isn't it?
Yes.
So, and in not more than 30-40 years. So similarly, the concept when this World Wide Web was introduced, so people started laughing at Bill Gates. What this man is talking about? In one complete year, perhaps there were not more than 7-8 subscribers. And now, can anyone imagine a life without internet? Perhaps it is, I mean, amongst the educated, not even educated, uneducated also, they don't realize what they are doing, but they are using the internet. So no one can imagine the life, the kind of stress that earlier people used to have. The definition has completely changed. अब तो आपका स्ट्रेस जब है जबकि आप कोई अच्छी मूवी डाउनलोड कर रहे हैं और बैटरी कम हो गई, बैटरी खत्म होने वाली है, चार्ज आप नहीं कर सकते, तो वो स्ट्रेस का लेवल है आपका। पहले स्ट्रेस कुछ और होता था, तो वन कैन नॉट इमेजिन। Look, come back to the accounting, the statement I made, that to the extent you have said that we made no mistake in the accounting, it is also partly correct. Let me make a statement.
We get to know the suspense value. We can put the
अभी
value
तक
in.
देखो अभी तक ये लोग सस्पेंस अकाउंट पे पहुंचे ही नहीं, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
देखिए, the statement that you should have made is that if both sides of trial balance are equal, our accounting mathematically is correct. Our accounting is mathematically. इसको ट्रायल बैलेंस को हिंदी में कहते हैं तलपट। क्या कहते हैं?
तलपट।
हम लोगों ने हिंदी मीडियम में बहुत पहले 1976 में पढ़ा था, तो एक सवाल आया करता था, तलपट खाता बही की केवल गणित संबंधी शुद्धता की जांच का प्रमाण है। आया कुछ समझ में?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, trial balance is the proof of mathematically correct.
Oh, very good, very good. Say it again, Arma. Trial balance is a proof of
Mathematically correct accounting.
mathematical accuracy of the accounts. So trial balance is only a proof of mathematical accuracy. What does it mean? That mathematically our things are correct. We have added all the columns of debit and credit. Good. Similarly, we have added and subtracted the balances also mathematically correctly. We have posted also correctly. And even this statement that you see on your screen, suppose इसका टोटल एक साइड का रॉन्ग हो जाए, तो it will not match. क्रेडिट साइड में आप टोटल मैनुअली करें और टोटल हो जाए 1,71,000, तो गलत हो जाएगा कि नहीं हो जाएगा? So that means mathematically we have done it. तो क्या हुआ? ट्रायल बैलेंस इज ओनली। अब क्या पॉसिबिलिटी है? वी माइट हैव अननोइंगली कमिटेड सर्टेन एरर्स। इसमें गलतियां रह सकती हैं, तो लेट अस नो व्हाट आर दोज एरर्स, एंड वंस वी रेक्टिफाई दोज एरर्स, once we correct those errors, then only we can proceed. तो mathematically तो सही है. Other than mathematics, what kind of errors might be there? I'm not saying are there, but might be there. I'll come back to that later. Now, if all of you are present, 74 of you are present, I'm posting another question in the chat box, which okay, no, not that. Hold on. I am posting another small question in the chat box, which you are supposed to take some time, maybe about a minute or so, and then answer it. Just to your, I'm posting a question. Answer that question in about a minute. Note down in your pen and copy with a pen and pencil, copy in your notebook and post your answer. As soon as you finish your answer, I will post the correct answers also. As soon as all the answers are posted, I'll post the correct answers, and you can match yours with the answers that I'll be posting. यूजुअली आदिल इज द फर्स्ट वन. अगर आदिल को केबीसी में भेज दिया जाए फास्टेस्ट फिंगर फर्स्ट में, तो इनका काम हो सकता है. आदिल ने भी 20 लिखा, जावकेश ने भी 20 लिखा, समीर ने 146, हयात 166, यशस्वी 103, हम्माद हाशमी 232, पलाक्ष 190 और उरूज फातिमा। इत्तफाक से 2 उरूज हैं, दोनों फातिमा हैं, दोनों IBF में हैं। I posted this question at 808. No, not 808. I posted this question at 8:33. No, you should not take that long. Has everybody posted? If there are no more answers, I'll post the answers also, and you may just 1 second, let me check if there are more people who are posting. It should not have taken that long. Shubham was the last one to have posted, but still you are posting. आपको एक सवाल देने के बजाय ये ऐसा मैंने सवाल क्यों दिया, कुछ आप बता सकता कोई आप में से?
Sir, answers would vary.
आंसर
We'll be having different answers.
Answers vary,
एनरोलमेंट
sir.
नंबर तो सबका सेम ही होगा, वो डिफरेंट ही
Sir,
होगा ना।
sir,
रोल नंबर और एनरोलमेंट नंबर डिफरेंट होगा।
और
आंसर
कोई रीजन इसका बताइए, ऐसा क्यों है?
तो सब लोग अपना आंसर देने मतलब अपना
अपना खुद ही करेंगे सर, एक्टिव जो होगा वही दे पाएगा।
अच्छा, अगर मान लीजिए मैं एक सवाल दे देता आपको तो क्या पॉसिबिलिटी थी? मैं बता देता कि
सवाल पढ़ा भी नहीं होता, लेकिन सर ऊपर वाले का देख के हम कमेंट करते थे।
नहीं, ऊपर वाले का देख लीजिए तो कोई बात नहीं, ऊपर वाला तो सभी को देख रहा है।
सर मतलब चैट्स में
sir कंफ्यूज करने
अच्छा,
के
चैट
लिए,
बॉक्स की
क्योंकि
बात कर रहे
इसमें
हैं, मैं
आंसर
ऊपर
सेम
वाले की
आएगा।
ऐसे बात कर रहे हैं आप जो सबसे ऊपर है। अच्छा, तो आप ऊपर वाले का देख के लिख देते, कभी कभी वो बहुत नुकसान देता। आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपना कैलकुलेट करके लिखिए। अच्छा, तो नाउ wait for a minute, not even a minute. I am attaching a document which has the correct answers. So you may just 1 second. Phase-based equation answers. Yes, you may. Have you got the WhatsApp message?
No sir.
नहीं मिला भी आपको?
नहीं मिला सर।
मिल गया। I have posted. I can see it on my screen. आपको मैंने
We have not received.
No, sir, we haven't received it.
ऐसा कैसे हो गया भाई? Just 1 second. Wait. You got it now?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Check your answers, and in the chat box, if your answer is correct, you write your roll number and say why, and you write your number and say no. Okay? You match your answers with the one that I have posted, and if your answer is correct, you write like this. Take your answer. And write 101Y or 101N. Your answer may be correct. Oh, why so many no? It's not good. Something wrong? Several people are writing N. Only in one case, Farwa Iqtidar has written yes. No, no. In so many cases, perhaps in almost all cases, you are writing no. How is it possible? Okay, any one of you who has written N, tell me how did you calculate it? Any one of you can volunteer. Okay. Anyone else?
Sir, I took the same approach as Adil said.
Okay. तो तुम लोगों ने सादिक से डिस्कस तो नहीं किया था?
नहीं सर, एक जनरल सा लग रहा था ये कुछ इसी तरीके से होगा।
कोई बात नहीं, और बताइए।
Sir, I did capital equals to asset minus revenue minus expenses.
अच्छा, एक काम कीजिए, आपने अपने जो मैंने आपको आंसर भेजे हैं, आप मेरा वाला आंसर नोट कर लीजिए बस। खाली नोट कर लिया आपने?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All of you should note your calculation and also should note my answer. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you have all noted, I will be deleting that message for everyone. मैंने उस मैसेज को हर एक के लिए डिलीट कर दिया। आपने देख लिया कि मैसेज डिलीट का मैसेज आ गया आपके पास? आपने नोट कर लिया, मैंने डिलीट कर दिया। You spend another, not now, let us concentrate on class. You spend more time. See, all it was required maybe about a minute or so. 1 minute से ज़्यादा का काम नहीं था. I will not elaborate on that now. When I was getting a lot of no, I was worried. Maybe I made some mistake in my calculation. If I make one mistake in my calculations, usually all answers will be incorrect. They are all automated. I am not calculating individually, nor should anyone. I have just calculated one answer by entering these figures. The rest is all Excel doing. If my formula is incorrect, but anyway, let me also revisit, and you also check and see if my calculation is correct. Once you have done it.
We 5 minutes बाद आ जाना, 5-6 minutes बाद आता.
Okay. Now we continue where we were. So I was explaining to you that this trial balance is only mathematically correct. There are several possibilities. Those possibilities we shall discuss later. First, let me just say, okay, now we are here. What you should do, let me once again convert it. It is D11. We are still at D11. In the statement that is the trial balance, you check how many A's are there, how many assets are there, how many capitals are there, how many liabilities are there, how many expenses are there, and how many revenues are there, and with what amounts. If I say write how many A, you just write the total of all A's is equal to so much. All right, total of all A is equal to so much. Total of all C's is equal to so much. Do you see what is happening on the screen? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then total of all liabilities is so much. Total of all, why is it doing so? Okay. Total of all expenses is so much. Total of all revenues is so much. You do. That is the first step that you will do. Not now. Do it leisurely. It's not a matter of 5 minutes or more than 5 minutes. Once this step is complete, classify all the items of trial balance as A or C or L or E or R. What do you do as a next step? R minus E. You have totaled it. When you come at this stage, you have total L. When you come at this stage, you have total E. When you come at this stage, you have total R. So you have totaled these. Then you subtract revenue expenses from revenue. When you subtract expenses from revenue, what do you get? Naturally, you will get profit or loss. When you get profit or loss, depending on which figure you are getting, add it to C or subtract from C. If it is your P, profit, naturally you will add it to capital. If it is loss, you will subtract from capital. So you will be left with, as a third step, you will be left with only 3 items. Then what is A is equal to rupees itna, C is equal to itna, and L is equal to itna. You calculate, and then, not now, maybe later, make sure that your equation is balanced. Your A is equal to C plus L. What you are expected to do, is that clear, or you need some clarification in that?
Sir, एक बार
What
third
you
step
expect
repeat
to do, is that
सकते हैं?
clear, or you need a clarification?
Sir, third step.
Third step. See, once you have calculated all assets, put it at a place, all capital, put it at a place. But in capital, you will add, if there is a P, if there was a profit, you will add to capital. If there was a loss, you will subtract from capital. So you will have 2 figures here, one asset, one capital. Capital including profit or excluding losses. Then third step, then you will have a figure of liability also. So ultimately you will have 3 figures, A, C and L. Put that in the form of an equation, that is A is equal to C plus L. You write an equation, A is equal to C plus L. Substitute the figures and see, does it match? Is that clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, suppose your A was 10 and 10 is equal to, your C was 4, so your L should be 6. This is how it should match. If it is correctly matching, so mathematically you have made no mistake. Even to 99% we can say that you have correctly classified A as A, C as C. If you wrongly classify R as E or E as L, so this may at times not match. But again, it is a test of mathematical accuracy only. All right. Any further question at this stage? I am posting an answer here also. This equation should be 116 is equal to 106 plus 10. This is only an answer. This is what you should have at the end, the ultimate outcome. You can note this also, that this equation after this classification should be 116 is equal to 106 plus 10. If you get it, fine. If you don't get it, text me in the group. Okay, your equation does not match, or your equation, what are assets, what are liabilities. I should be able to clarify to you through WhatsApp. Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir. So I have got to.
Yes. And any question?
No, sir.
Okay. If no, that you can still be there for another minute or so, and then you can leave the class. When you see the screen, do you see the timing also on my system? Or you don't see the time of?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, sir.
But anyway, these days all through GPS, perhaps even laptop also, isn't it? Laptop, if it is configured through internet, like at this stage, will the time be through GPS or the one that I will adjust? Do you have any idea, any one of you? See, the phone, I know. In case of cell phone, it is all through GPS. But laptop, the one that I am using, suppose it is internet is on, so what time will it be showing? GPS time?
It is up to you if you have selected
I
automatic
set
or
up.
manual.
Okay,
Can be manually also, sir.
Okay, that I store. Okay. But if it is through system, it will be okay. Fine, you can leave the class now because you need to.
Thank you,
join
sir.
the-
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.